With Reverend J.D. Poole spearheading this drive, New Philadelphia presented a very strong case to have the new Nazarene College built here where Kent Tuscarawas is now located. The city of New Philadelphia chose Kent College, and Mount Vernon landed the Church College. Mount Vernon Nazarene College was established in 1968. The following individuals attended Mount Vernon Nazarene College while it was a 2-year institution: Linda Bailey Hockenberry, Glenda Mossert, Kathy Thurman Scammahorn, Becky Leeser, and Linda Burgess Kleiber. After it became an accredited 4-year college and then a university, we had the following individuals attend: Monica Parson Michaels, Ron Bailey, Mark Carpenter, Ryan Swinderman, Amy Williams, Angela Williams, Heather Robinson, Joe Belknap, Deanne Thurman Rodden, Shelley Littlefield Crane, Tom Swinderman, Nate Kleiber, Julie Rodden Price, Ashley Rodden McAdam, Kathy Gilmore Wantland, Jenna Lawver Diattore, Emily Henning Mummert, Stacy Adams Conkey, Andrew Adams, Brianna Cameron, Eric Romig, Bill Arrington, Jeff and Susan Myers, Stephanie Brank Leup, Jared Lawver, Chad Lawver. We are also thankful to have Kara Cameron Chappelle and Kevin Diattore, both Mount Vernon Nazarene University graduates, included in our congregation. Many marriages occurred during the 60s and 70s here at First Church of the Nazarene. Dennis and Linda Hockenberry, Kathy and Galen Scammahorn, Will and Kathy Skayer, Jim and Linda Kleiber, Susan and Dave Shelkin, Lomas and Isabel Schumann, Stephanie and Rod Lepp, Deanne and Rod Rodden. New Philadelphia First Church of the Nazarene was enthusiastic about their Easter services. Here you have Ed Canfield leading one of his colts ridden by Greg Ott. The Easter story came alive before our eyes. The 75th anniversary celebration of the First Church of the Nazarene was a time filled with fun and wonderful memories. We are a church of love, and the Valentine's banquets were a time of great fellowship, fun, laughter, and sharing.
And we got asked if we would be on the newlyweds. We weren't newlyweds, but they put us on the game. Well, they asked us what our husband would do if he thought nobody was looking. And of course I said, pick his nose. And he came out, and they asked him the question. He said, well, I hope she didn't say it, but she probably said, pick my nose.
The church was so very blessed to have George and Dorothy Caldwell as a part of our congregation. George, being blind since 1962, constructed most of the wood articles you see around our church. Everything he measured, he did with his hands, and his measurements were never off.
George Caldwell was a special friend to me. He was a blind man, and he did a lot of the cabinetry and the pews and anything that sitting around in the church that's made of wood. Probably George did it. And George used to call me up and say, Betty, what are you doing today? And I said, George, where would you like to go? And so he would say, oh, he'd like to go see Jim Powell or Elsie Thurman or some of the older people like that. And when I'd pick him up, his wife had neuropathy real bad and was not able to walk. And I would always say goodbye to Dorothy, and I said, George and I are going on a blind date now. And he was blind. And so he was funny. He knew where he was. We got out on 7 Mile Drive, and he said, Betty, tell me exactly where we're at now. And I told him, and he said, I know exactly where we're at on the road. He could tell because he had driven it so much that he just knew. He was an amazing man.
He could identify you by your handshake or cologne smell. He served on the church board and several committees. He and Dorothy worked well together and were a committed couple to each other, to the church, and to the God they served.